So this is how a quick 5-minute thing turns into a half-hour thing. Where's the... I lost the electrical connector. Anyway, they had a ground under that for that sensor, which I found the wire to back here in my random wire loom. Anywho, go to take the bolt out. It actually feels like it's gonna turn pretty easy. Evidently that's because it was rotten through. Drilled, tried to easy out, and anyway, this was all, oh sorry, this was all corroded to everything. Broke that loose, and now I think if I take a skinny wheel and cut what's left of that bolt off, it will come out the back now. So yeah, pain in the butt, but I think when I'm done I will have 2 of my 4 unknown wires back here good to go. I happened to get completely lucky, and the first wire I stripped was the wire for that sensor. I just vice gripped it to a clean spot on the frame and checked for continuity to ground in the cab for the rear diff sensor. I went through all of them, and that was the last one I checked, thinking there's no way I'd guess right. Did all that and make sure when I pulled this off of the clean ground it went back to open. Sure enough it did. So a lot of words to say, I should have a rear diff sensor once I get done with my quick wiring project. So keys on, rear driver temp, you'll notice is actually reading something. So sure enough, that was the right wire, and I hooked the ground to the right wire in the loom. I'll run back and look at that real quick. Got that a little bit tighter than I wanted, but all loomed up and zip tied a couple spots to kind of keep it out of the way. Kind of want to see how well that cloth tape that we picked up holds, but it's supposed to be not necessarily sticky, but really abrasive proof, so that's not a good chance of what it, or excuse me, test of what it's supposed to be used for. But I do still have some cleanup over here to do. There's 2 wires in left that come back to the rear here that I have no idea what they might be. I was wondering if one might be reverse lights. I need to look up a wiring diagram and see what it might be, but I think I'll throw some bigger loom over all of this, maybe get some littler stuff. I don't know if that's a today thing though, because I'd rather try to get all my sensors working, so, or as many as I can without a giant pain in the butt effort, which that turned out to be. So why I think these will be any different, I don't know, but we'll see. Oh, you can't even see this guy's sensor from here, but I'm nearly positive those 2 wires have to be what used to run down there, and wondering if the driveline might have taken the last ones out. So finding a good path to follow and a method of retaining it to the axle and staying out of the driveline will likely be important. The sensor is down. I can send you guys down and look. Yeah, evidently not. So sensor's down there, same location as the other one, but I guess nothing to do but run some wires and get it done. And ordered me a little 5th wheel slider tube. That's nice. They spliced their tube. I guess you do what you gotta do. Anywho. Oh. Looks like that side's broke too. Old crispy truck. At one time, hopefully maybe this year, but things usually don't follow my schedule, or what I think is my schedule. Hoping to kind of strip down the frame and sandblast it and paint it, run all new airlines, and make sure the wire's all loomed up and pretty at that point. But like I said, loom and stuff back there might not be right now. So try to make it nice this winter project. So work on Brandy's car and this thing is the hope, because now that we actually have a shop kind of sort of done, theoretically that might be possible to do. So we'll find out. Well, we're to this again. This is the ground. Yeah, there you go. The ground connection for the front axle's temp sensor. Yeah. Basically, I'm taking bets on if this one's going to break too. And I'm debating on if I really want to try to get that out or not, because that will be way more obnoxious to try to drill. So, oh, that's fun. It looks like what's left of the bushing for that. The rear one has a bushing on both sides. The front one, this kind of does on that side. Okay, made a decision. I'm listening out. I beat on a 9/16 wrench with a hammer, and didn't move. Used the old 9/16 with a something through the open end, and pulled enough to where I was worried I was gonna break the wrench or the bolt. So looking closer at the line that's connected to it. Yay, there's a line connected to it is the first cool part. Oh crap. The insulation gets thin there. I thought I had clear to there, where it's through. That's still enough if I splice there, and the wire's not exposed, so maybe it's not oxidized and crappy to where I can actually solder it. So I think I'm going to keep the existing wire. The one on the rear had no wire, it was just the connector snipped off, so that's the decision here. Can't decide whether to add, if I hold that roughly there, I don't know, that might be enough for when the suspension sags. I'll probably add a little bit, and rather than having 12 splices, I might take that out. We'll find out. Quick status update on the last 3 gauges that I can make work. Got both drive axles done. Sorry for the low air warning and no oil pressure warning. Had to have the key on to get them to work. So transmission temp is left. I'll show the front wiring that's not in loom yet. I learned, I think, something smart and cool that they did. I was showing how it looks like the line might have gotten into the wire might have gotten into the drive line before. It looks like those connectors that I was thinking of taking out before, they're bullet connectors. So my assumption is they plan-ish on those potentially getting into the drive line, and if it does, instead of gutting the wiring, it'll pull those bullets apart. So I'll probably try to make, I don't know, that loom's not that strong. I was gonna say try to make a split in the loom there, but I left a excessive amount of slack for axle moving up and down. But I'm gonna put that little tiny loom on that, strap it to the bar there, and a loop for suspension travel. and then go on down to the sensor, which you still can't see from up here. So get the front. That's always nice. I don't know if you can see the loose wires dangling there. Maybe that's the transmission temp sensors. Anyway, get the transmission temp done, and the water gauge, mechanical water gauge, is on its way. So water gauge and tach speedometer cable combo mix thing replacement, and I'll have my gauges working on it so that I hopefully don't have to worry about damaging anything. When I get to the tach cable, I'll show you, because I think it was 150 bucks for a silly tachometer cable, which is just a speedometer cable with a really specific end on it. I'm gonna try to redneck I don't remember, $15 or something Napa Speedo cable replacement, and crimp the end that goes into the injection pump on, because it's the special connector side. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully, maybe tomorrow. So get my last temp besides water and a tach done, and then I'm just waiting on a water gauge. So that would be nice. I am not a very smart person. Oftentimes, I was snooping around in the sleeper of the Peterbilt. I honestly don't know why. I was just goofing around, snooping around, and poked this little switch for this little cargo light. It turned right on, and it was a one-way trip. So now I have something new to fix. Whoops. I'm not proud of this, but problem solved. I sprayed every kind of lube and electric contact cleaner I could find in there, and the little switch is toast, and I don't need this right now, and I don't need it to drain the batteries. So yeah, that's the solution for now. I am super excited. The Speedo cable and some parts from the existing truck, the pieces that's unique to fitting into the injection pump, I was able to pull the old cable out of that and stick into this, and it's working. So I've got oil pressure, my water temp is coming, my diffs, I know them. Transmission would be nice. I'll see if I can figure out where that's not working. My Speedo says it's got GPS signal, and pyrometer is pretty important. Engine oil temp would be nice, but if I get water temp, that should be close enough. So pretty close to usable to hook a load to it and test it. Egg thingy, huh? Oh no, it's too fast. Doesn't seem to work as well on that one. Maybe it's a quantity thing. Let's see. I don't know. Maybe it's working. We'll go check his friend. Yeah, I'm thinking PB Blaster for the win. Hook and stick. There's a hook and stick. blaster is awesome. Somebody told me diesel in one of those air sprayers works like a champ for wasps, so I guess it makes sense that EV blaster might work too.